Hi, this is the initial response for Module 10, Chapter 8, Implementing Rules and Procedures. In Element 33, it talked about establishing the rules and procedures. And ideally, the rules and procedures are established day one of class, and they're practiced over and over and over during the first couple of weeks of school, or until everyone is on board with the procedures and aligns their actions to the expectations of the class or the building. Allowing students to be involved in the creation of these rules is beneficial, and creating a pledge together so that everyone is committed to following the rules and procedures is a step that requires them to take ownership of their actions and allows for the students in the class to hold each other accountable for their actions. I was a child development teacher for a while and studied the developing child for years, and one thing that experts all agree on is that children thrive when there are boundaries and when they know what the expectations are. They're not fearful that they're going to do something wrong, that they're going to get in trouble, because they know what's expected. And when they practice those boundaries or those expectations and rules, they feel safe and secure in the class. Now, I'm here to tell you they're going to push the boundaries, but when the adults are consistent in requiring those boundaries and that students stay within those boundaries, then students typically will meet the expectations. So as a building leader, I think it's going to be important that we are consistent with the rules and procedures we have in place. We modeled that for our teachers, and we have the same expectation of the teachers in the building. Element 34 is organizing the physical layout of the classroom. Teachers should align their classroom decor to the instruction. It should be relevant to their learning targets, and student work should be on display. In my district, when we posted any student work, we had to attach a sign that gave the standard that the students were meeting. And if an administrator came by and it wasn't tagged to align to a certain standard, we were questioned on that, because they wanted to be able to see that learning targets were being met in the classroom, and that what's displayed for others to see could be beneficial to all students. Where the design of the room should be aesthetically pleasing, it's very important that it's conducive to the learning environment and to movement that may be happening in the classroom. Element 35, demonstrating with-itness. Teachers should know the students and the classroom so well that he or she is able to proactively prepare for potential issues that could happen. Kind of like when people say, does she have eyes in the back of her head? I've heard that before in my classroom. And it's just knowing and being able to address issues before they actually occur. Element 36, acknowledging adherence to rules and procedures. In our district, we have PBIS, Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports, and this seemed to align right with that. It's a way for schools to provide positive feedback, which is very important for students who are staying in the line in line with the rules and procedures. It's important that these students who are doing the right thing are acknowledged for their good choices. Element 37, acknowledging lack of adherence to the rules and procedures. Both verbal and nonverbal communication can be used to signal this to students. And if a teacher is continually using the same type of communication when a student is off task or doing a behavior that's not expected or doesn't fit within the guidelines, then the students get used to that expectation and will listen for cues or watch for those cues that remind them to get back on task. Implications for change. Instead of being teacher directed, students should be involved in creating their learning environment and holding each other accountable for the learning. Students can assist the teacher in this accountability, and that should be a place that we want our teachers in our building to get to, where the students are working with us to hold each other accountable.